Hi, this video is for you if you're a coach, consultant, or a business owner and you're stuck, you don't know how to get to the resistance, to get to the bag, to those 6 or 7 figures. Watch this. I'm going to show you where you're at and how to get unstuck. So first of all, I want to point to the baby elephant. So there's a story about an elephant. It's a baby elephant. When he was little, he was tied to a fence. When he first got tied, he would always pull away and pull away and pull away, but could never break free. He was stuck and I can't break free. And so what happened along the years is he did what elephants do, what baby elephants do. He grew into a big elephant. However, he was still tied to the same little fence with the same rope. Guys, this was what they would do in India and different places to keep elephants. They'd start them young and they would train them, and they would decide the elephant had this thing in their mind that I'm stuck and I can't break free, even though they were this big, massive, strong animal. Many of us get stuck in this. We get stuck in the baby elephant mindset. And when this happens, the danger of this is this: cycles. So in our life, in our personal life, in our business life, we have cycles. We have day, the week, the season, the year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. And what can happen, we can find ourselves, if we are stuck here and don't make adjustments, these cycles that happen turn into cyclones. This is where a lot of us in business find ourselves getting stuck. So if you haven't broken through the 6 figures yet, you go, I don't know what it is, man. Everybody else is doing it, but I'm stuck. I can't get past 6 figures. I can't even get into 6 figures. Or if you're in 6 figures and you see all your buddies and people that start after you and they end up breaking into the 7 figures, even 8 figures, you're like, I'm doing the same thing. I have the same funnel. I've got the same sales process, have the same amount of leads. I have all those things, but something's different. And you're stuck in this cycle. And unless you make a change, that day, week, season, year can turn into 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the rest of your life. And guys, this doesn't apply just to business, it applies to everything. Specifically to business, these are the cycles that turn into cyclones that we find ourselves in many times because we have the baby elephant mind that we're stuck, and we're really not stuck. This monster elephant could crash that fence, could break the rope very easily. He just doesn't think he can, he or she, and it's not even in the realm of possibility. So what I want to talk about now, I want to focus on this part here, everything below that. And check this out. This is a plane, and what you'll notice about this plane is up here in the airstream, and he's on his journey to get to their oasis. Now, what you'll notice about planes that are in the airstream, you'll always hear this.
This is your Captain Mike speaking. We're flying at 30,000 feet. It is safe to unbuckle your seatbelt and walk around the cabin.
It's this chill, safe spot. You're going to your destination. And really cool, you're spending hardly any fuel, any energy. And guys, we all know people like that, right? You know, when you have that friend, that buddy, that acquaintance, that person that you heard of, that's like, wow, they live in this amazing house. Money's coming in consistently in their business and it's just doing amazing. And I'm struggling, I can't figure it out. This is where we want to be. Watch this. This is what planes have to do in general. This part here, this is an airplane and it's taking off. So on the takeoff, what I want you to know is that this is the riskiest part of airplanes flying, is the takeoff. It's also the landing. It's also where planes spend most of their energy, is in the takeoff, right? not in the cruising altitude, it's in the takeoff. And in this channel is where many business owners find themselves. Again, whether you're trying to get to break through six figures or go from 6 to 7 figures or 8 figures, a lot of us find ourselves in these places. And what happens is you're taking off and you want to get there, and then you hit this point and you don't break through. Your goal is this oasis, is to get the bag, but you don't break through and you go back down. And so what happens is this channel becomes a repetitive thing that business owners find themselves in. One thing I want to say about this is what I find is a lot of times there is a path, and you'll see this is you, the business owner, and you're running with a big stride. And as you get closer to your goal, all of a sudden you start taking these little baby steps. You go from running full stride to you're like, the finish line's right there. We don't go through it. What is going on? Why are you stuck? Why is there resistance? What's going on? So in addition to this and being in the cycles and what I call half-stepping is we're going through this cycle over and over and over again. And so this line that you see here, this is resistance. What's happening? Here's what's going on. There's just a couple of reasons why you're stuck in this channel. It is either, number one, no clarity. You have no clarity. You don't know what it is that you really want. You don't know the type of business that you really want to have. And so what happens is you'll say, hey, I want to do this business this way. And you'll start taking steps towards it. And you get up to a little resistance. And you're like, nah. And then you do this. Instead of looking at your goal, do it this way. Instead of looking at your goal, you start looking back at where you are, at your current circumstances, and then you go right back to it. Why? Even though you're not happy with it, it might suck, but it's comfortable because you know it. It's a hell that you know, right? And then you get tired of it again, and then you say, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that over there. And you start heading towards that, and you get right back up to resistance, and you look back where you came from, where your current circumstances, and you go back. And so what happens is we as business owners have this big word of the day, propensity to grind, struggle right where we're at. So what does that look like? It looks like this. You're in your business, and rather than go through the destination that you want to get to and do it that way, you stay where you're at, and the things that aren't working, you go, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this marketing. It hasn't worked in 2 years. I'm going to do more. I'm going to do it harder. I'm going to do it faster. I'm going to just grind more through that. It's not the answer. That's called putting good money after bad. Quick story. My advertising when I was in financial services, I used to send out 5,000 mail pieces and get a 3% response rate. Out of 5,000, 150 people would respond and come to listen to me speak. Over just a few short years, it went from 3% to less than 0.5%. And I got to where I was doing more and more and more mailers. So eventually I was doing 20,000 mailers to get maybe 150 people over 3 days to come out and listen to me speak. I kept grinding in the same place. That's not the answer. I kept going back to the current circumstances, which kept me from the bag and from breaking through. So being clear, the first part of this is you're not breaking through because you're not clear on what you want. Or if you are clear, you keep changing it. So you have to be really clear on what it is that you want. Then from there, it's what it's all about, is your identity. A lot of times when people are not running in full stride at their goal and they start slowing down, even though the finish line is right there and there's no obstacles in place, they're throwing obstacles like, oh, well, I don't know about this, and I don't have this, and I don't have that. That's your identity speaking to you, because you can't do something new or greater being the same person. Here's a little truth. You look around your world right now, like pause, look around. Look at your house, look at the clothes you're wearing, look at your relationship, look at your car, look at your bank account. Everything that you have comes from, you've manifested it, you've magnetized it to you out of who you are. That, my friends, was a real hard pill for me to swallow. When you do, things change quickly, okay? So let's talk about that. So when you're clear, what do we talk about? You're not clear on what you want. When you get clear on your oasis of what it is that you want, the only other thing is, who are you? Are you the identity that you need to be? So instead of grinding on these circumstances, forget that. Get clear on what you want. And when you get clear on what you want, I want a 7-figure business. You want a 7-figure business, 7 figures, $1 million a year, or an 8-figure business, which is $10+ million a year. Think about that. If you're clear that's what you want, very quickly, it's going to become clear on who you need to be. So if we're looking here, we gave it a couple of shots. By the way, this doesn't mean that you don't try something and fail. That's just part of business. This is part of life. The beauty of that, if you go for something, you're clear on what you want, and the door doesn't open or the door closes, maybe it was supposed to, because another door is going to open for you. Okay? So this time around, we're going to break through because we are clear on what we want, and now we have this identity. Who am I? I'm an 8-figure business owner. When you get clear on that, guess what? You're not going to do what 6-figure business owners are doing, maybe not even with the 7 figures. Maybe you are own a 7-figure business, but you want to get to 8. Well, you already know you need to let go of that 7-figure business identity, take on this identity, and I'll go do what 8-figure business owners do. When you do that, you become that person, you will have what they have. So, as a recap, this is how to get unstuck and how to break through resistance. In order to do that, what I hope that you learned today is that what you need to do is have clarity around where you're at. What is making you stuck? What is keeping you in this struggle, grind channel and taking off and going back down to your current circumstances over and over and over again? It's not your sales, it's not your marketing, it's not your employees, it's not the third-party companies you're working with. It is either your lack of clarity of what you want and or your unwillingness. You haven't shifted who you are. And I'm going to tell you, that is, when you're clear on what you want, is who you are is the biggest variable in all of this. Change who you are. And guys, it doesn't take forever. It's the shortcut. As an example, if you want to change who you are, right now I'm Mr. Consultant, Coach, right? But I can put on my jacket and I can sing you a country song. Might be out of key. I'm an artist now. What the heck? I changed my identity. I shifted it that quick. So it's not hard. You don't have to grind through that. It just takes some visualization and some time, some quiet time to do that. Make a decision, and things can change very quickly. You can change your business in 90 days or less and get to the bag. Take on the mentality of a big elephant with no tie. Instead of being in the cyclones of life, you can get into the cycles, the beautiful cycles of your business. Break out of this channel and get to the oasis. If this has helped you, there's some resources in the description below. There's a clarity call if you want to hop on a quick call with me. At the time of this recording, there may also be a blueprint, a giveaway, or even a video series that you can download as well. Other than that, take some time, meditate, pray, what it is that you do. Get clear, look it around, and why are you stuck? Is it your clarity on what it is that you want? Or is it around the identity of who you are? Shortcut is when you change who you are, that's in harmony with what you want, things change like that. I'm Mike Ahlers. I hope this helps. Hope it serves you. Want some more help? Click the video that's coming up right now.